All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ben Nadig. Welcome to From the Beach to the Bar, our little podcast. It's our second March edition, I believe, right? With me is Sage Lopez, my life partner and partner, Jess Matsuda, and Sagey's mom, and one of our case managers, Tamitha Lopez.
Hello.
Today is the pretty much watch videos and talk shit phase of the podcast. You can't really talk off camera when there's.
No, that was he's melting. He was melting something.
I heard you.
Is it really in Tampa?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
The fuck do you think about?
That was Tammy.
What is Tammy short for?
Sometimes it's just use the word.
Just say it. All right. So you guys apparently like it when we watch videos and talk shit. So we're going to do a little bit of that, have a little fun. And we're also going to go on Reddit and see the stupidest legal questions that
People have?
people have. Yeah. Which is funny because we could probably add to the list.
Yes.
All right, Seiji. So, and know that I don't know about you, I haven't seen any of these videos. I never watch them beforehand because then you don't get the genuine reaction. But what are we watching first?
I haven't seen any of the videos, but I guess there's a video going around with the arson attack with a Tesla. So you know about it, Jess? I think you heard about this.
I have. Yeah, I saw it on the news. So apparently someone went to a Tesla repair center. It's after hours. No one was in these vehicles, but someone threw some Molotov cocktails at these cars, and I think he had a gun and he was firing into the cars as well. Just today, I'm pretty sure they caught the guy that's supposed to be the suspect that did these things.
They caught the guy
I'm
that's
afraid I
supposed to be the.
Well, they caught the guy that they
Alleged.
caught the suspect.
Was there a motive?
Well, they're gonna figure it out, but it's
Yeah.
people probably can guess
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure this is happening across the country right now. There are people that are driving Teslas are being attacked. Their cars are being damaged, just from the backlash about Musk and the Doge program.
Yep. That's what I thought. Elon Musk and Donald Trump, very political things.
You know what I've been seeing too on social media is people have been taking off their Tesla emblems and putting in
Putting a
like
different-
Honda,
Yeah.
and putting civic, yeah,
But it's like, I don't understand the point of that because
because people are randomly
Like those
no,
stupid.
I
Yeah.
get the point of it, but it's like
Dude, we all.
we all know what the car like.
One I saw was a Honda Civic. They put the Honda emblem on and Civic on the bottom, and it kind of looked like a Civic from behind. So,
No, I feel like they're very distinct and different from all the other cars. So it's
What's the point of getting a Tesla if you have to hide what you're driving?
well, they bought it not knowing this was going to happen, though.
yeah,
You know,
they're trying to because now they're worried about their car being damaged, which
I don't know, man. I just feel if you drive a Cybertruck, you're a douche. That's.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I'm old. Everybody remember I'm old. Mustang 5.0s back in the day, like in the 90s. If you're driving that, that's a pretty good. You were
Roshan in my Bible.
well,
Like that.
Thank you, Vanilla Ice.
speaking of Cybertrucks, I know that the police department just got a
Bunch of them.
bunch
Yeah,
of
some.
that.
Totally non-political too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't seen any though. Have you seen any?
Well, I don't know if it was delivered yet,
Oh,
but they're supposed to get what, like 10 or something, 15.
yeah. Like I understand it for SWAT. I don't.
Fucking why?
Yeah.
Why does SWAT need it? Like, what if you got to drive more than 20 feet?
Yeah.
I just don't think like.
Oh shit, we'll be there, but I got to charge my fucking car. Give me a sec.
So I'm assuming Tesla would pay for that, or who would pay for the damages? That would the guy end up paying for the damages in the long run? Like,
I have a feeling that homie is something we call judgment proof, which means that, yeah, you could sue dude, but he has no money. So, Tesla will probably claim that it's an intentional act so that the person should cover it, and that they shouldn't cover it. Obviously against them, I would argue negligent security, meaning that you didn't fence off your lot, you didn't take precautions for something like this to happen. So you'd go after Tesla, you'd go after the repair center if it's attached to Tesla. It'd be a fight. It'd definitely go to litigation. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, Tesla's going to want your insurance company to cover your car, even though it's at their lot. Your, company is going to say we're not liable. It's a hot mess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that's how insurance like handles arson cases. Like,
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, once again, it's an intentional act. So if something's an intentional act, who do you sue?
yeah,
If Elon Musk is like torching stuff, great, sue him. He's got money. But most of the people who do this are a little off in the head.
Yeah, definitely negligent security.
Yeah, you got to go with negligent security.
Knowing that there's this, everyone's been damaging Teslas around the country, and you have all these Teslas just out in the open with no security roaming the lot. I think that's negligent security.
like what should you? But like, I granted, like how you said before that people who bought Teslas before, they didn't know like these things were gonna happen. Like people are getting mad for political reasons. Like, what do you think that they should do to either like?
Protect their property. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but what can you do in this situation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't plan for dude to go crazy when he sees your car.
Is
You know what I mean?
car? Is that the? I think that's the goal of what people are like trying to do, probably, and just
Yeah.
getting
I mean,
driving him down.
somebody's going to pay for it. It's either going to be your insurance company or the Tesla or the lot, depending on how the structure is. It would be tough, I think, to get pain and suffering out of something like that. But, somebody other than you would pay. And it's just going to take some work.
I think it would be a bad look if Tesla didn't say, we'll pay for it.
We got it.
Because that's just bad PR.
I don't know, man. It's kind of bad luck to fire half the fucking veterans in, the government.
Yeah.
Problem doing that.
That's true.
Oh. And the insurance coverage, like, do you think that they should? I don't know, because Tesla has their own insurance. We talked about that last.
Yeah, kind of about variable insurance.
But you don't have to have Tesla insurance.
Yeah, but I think that
They
maybe
just make
most
it
people
very-
probably have it. Yeah, because it seems really nice. So
The first thing I would do in that situation, I'd definitely file a claim. Sometimes what you do is you just let the insurance companies fight it out. But, you file a claim, but you file a claim with your insurance, but you also put Tesla on notice that you intend to have them pay for it because the negligent security on the lot, things of that nature. It's kind of like, say somebody stole your Tesla from that lot. Who's going to be liable? Well, you guys left it out in the open, so you didn't secure my vehicle and I entrusted it to you to fix it. So there's, that's one of the reasons you hired an attorney, right?
Yeah.
So you could take care of that type of shit. So, I mean, sometimes I guess the benefit in hiring somebody like us is that we cut through the bullshit, meaning that we have the ability to let the insurance adjusters know that, like, we know their, denial playbook and it's not going to work. Usually with an arson case, it's not going to be a true personal injury case. You'd see that like with California wildfires and stuff. Like, obviously they're going to say it's guy's fault. But at the same time, one of the things insurance companies are really worried about is bad faith. The idea that if we don't cover it, we could get in some form of trouble. So what a lot of them will do in that situation, especially like in the LA fires and stuff like that, they'll tender the policy. And the reason they tendered the policy so quickly in the LA cases is because a lot of people underinsured their homes because they're like, oh, it's paid off, I don't need it, whatever reason. And so you just lost your, $5 million house and you had a $2 million policy. So they'll give you $1 million too, knowing that they're getting out of, $3 or $4 million in actual losses. That's what they do in a home situation with bad faith. Your Tesla is going to be covered by somebody. The question is, who do you want to cover it? And, is it worth it for you to go after Tesla and things like that? What are we watching now, Seiji?
I guess there's a road rage and attempted murder video going around. A driver in an SUV is chasing an individual on foot, trying to run them over. So,
All right.
we're some video to that.
Is this Vegas?
Homie almost got run over by a Cadillac.
Of course, it's Vegas.
I appreciate the commentary.
Yeah.
These are my people. Did we already see it?
Yeah, we had her. Oh, it's this guy.
Here it is.
Why would you run? Oh, he was clipped that day.
Yeah.
I just, I don't understand.
I love the person critiquing the camera work. Like in the comments. Like, what do you expect them to do? They're getting run at.
So the driver is definitely facing criminal charges.
Yep.
Or is it more civil?
Yes. Yeah.
I
No,
think
there's
it's
no doubt about that.
criminal, right?
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
Is that considered attempted murder
I
or assault with a deadly weapon?
mean, it's definitely assault with a deadly weapon.
Assault the deadly.
I don't know if it rises to level of attempt murder because, like, there's no damage to the dude. Assault with deadly definitely was in fear. One of the things you need for assault is you need to be in fear for your life. And so clearly in that situation, even though the guy's not the greatest driver or girl, you definitely have fear that you're going to be injured. So assault with a deadly weapon. And to be fair, if you look at the laws in Nevada, pretty much anything's a deadly weapon. A paperclip would be a deadly weapon.
I had a glass ashtray.
Yeah.
In the casinos.
Yeah.
Deadly weapon.
Really?
So that can be, but attempt murder, I think there needs to be a little bit more, be it an injury, be it something more than mere.
I think if he actually got hit,
Yeah.
probably attempt murder.
Yeah.
But
and
if he wasn't struck, assault with the deadly.
but if he got hit too,
If
you can also go for personal injury, right?
No. Well, I guess no.
Yeah, because that's an intentional act, just like the Tesla they were talking about. But
Mm.
And I think we've talked about this in the past. We have that case. Nugs, was it here or was it in Arizona?
What was it about?
It was the intentional, like, dude got road rage and he deliberately hit the other car.
It's here.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've had situations where it's clear that the guy was pissed. He took his car and it crashed into the other guy, which we've all had that urge. I'm sure I mentioned that before, but your insurance isn't covering that shit. The aggressor's insurance is not going to cover that case because they have a specific exclusion for intentional acts. So can you sue the guy? Yes. Are you going to get money from his insurance company? In all likelihood, no. So you better hope he owns a house or, he has money,
yeah.
because otherwise you're, shit out of luck.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Now, what about the people filming? Because they were running in fear. Could they have some sort of case?
That's a stretch.
Yeah, I think there's something called transferred intent. Like from a criminal perspective, say they were hit by the car, then yeah, they could get attempt murder in that situation. Even though he was going for the other guy and he hit them, you could get them. But that same intentional act is going to mean that you can go after the insurance company. They're just going to deny liability.
Jess, did you have a client with the glass ashtray or something? How do you know? Well, I guess it could be anything.
Yeah.
Like,
What Ben was saying is in Nevada, any object used in some kind of fight or a scuffle could be potentially coined a deadly weapon.
What do you do?
So-
Fucking like somebody.
Yeah, we had a casino fight. They're just fighting by the slot machines, and then someone grabbed one of those ashtrays that they have on the slot machines and started using that to pummel the other guy, and they charged it with battery with a deadly weapon.
Good times.
But that is kind of a solid glass,
yeah,
I
I feel like that's not like even.
Isn't that a thing like with professional fighters too?
No, that's all a myth about their hands are registered as deadly weapons.
Mine are though.
Not
Yeah.
registered, but I mean, they have a skill that they're using against somebody who does not.
I mean, no, because they charge everybody with
Yeah.
that shit. Yep.
Because I heard like it's different for a fighter. It's like they
Dancers or MMA professional fighters.
Yeah, I represent quite a few and have represented quite a few, and there's no special enhancement. They just charge everybody like that.
Yeah. Well, back to the video. What if the drive? Mind you, it's a no. I'm just saying like it's funny because like if anything, what if the driver tries to argue self-defense?
No.
Because he's in the vehicle.
Yeah, and you have to have there's no other way you had to defend yourself. You could have just drove off.
Yeah.
I don't know what led up to that, but that self-defense claim is not gonna fly.
Yeah.
He could have just drove away.
There's stand your ground rules and stuff like that, but that's not something where stand your ground would apply. Stand your ground is where you're like at your house and somebody comes in your house, you don't have to retreat. In a situation like that where you're out and you're in your car, like, no.
And car versus pedestrian.
Yeah, with no weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
If a guy was pointing a gun at the car, maybe.
Yeah. See, that's why I was
Yeah.
but I didn't see
And
that.
that guy was just walking on the sidewalk.
What are the standards of self-defense?
That you have a reasonable fear that you are going to be harmed and that you are defending yourself against that harm.
And the force has to be equal. So Ben can't throw a pencil at me and I get a hammer and hit him in the head. So it has to be equal. If someone pulls a gun, you can pull.
I don't know, man. If I had a pencil and you had a hammer, that's probably equal to less.
I guess so. I think so. Yeah.
I'm almost twice your weight, man.
Oh,
You're a little guy.
you should do some more jogging. I think they call it yogging.
Yeah.
Yogging.
Yeah, I bet you $50 I could outrun you last night.
Last night, yeah. Yeah. You could outrun it. Yeah.
Jess is allergic and was hanging around way too many dogs last night. He couldn't breathe.
Yeah, that was bad.
When you said that, I thought he was like in the hospital.
I should have went to the hospital.
You should have. But in the case of like if he say the guy in the car, he did hit the pedestrian and the pedestrian obviously got injured. And you said there's nothing, he can't really go after the car because of the intentional act, yes. So I guess would his insurance cover his medical bills? Like who would like in any situation like
I mean, to be fair, in a situation like that, you could try to sue the guy hoping he has money. There's something called the Victims of Crime Act as well, where you can go to the district attorney's office. You can petition them to get money for, your medical bills and things like that. There's a couple of steps you can take, but getting it out of the insurance company would be quite hard.
That's why you have attorneys, huh?
I once, when I was, I forget when this was, I got appointed to be a special prosecutor in the city once when I was a defense attorney. And the reason being is there was an off-duty officer who, he was in his car and he was pulling up to an intersection and a homeless guy was walking across. And the homeless guy felt that the off-duty officer was pulling into the crosswalk too much. So he hit his hands on the car and was like, "What's up?" So the officer got out and beat the homeless guy. So I had that.
That's funny because we had the one time we were walking back from lunch and it was raining and that car was like, we were walking the crosswalk and that car looked like he was not going to stop. And he got mad at us because we looked at him. Do you remember that? You guys remember that? Nobody remember I was there?
Not.
Daisy, you don't remember that? You don't remember that? Then
I think you just made that up. I don't know.
yeah.
Stories with Sage.
Yes.
No, so we were walking back from lunch and we're in the crosswalk and I was closest to, I guess, where the car would be, I guess. And he was coming in pretty fast and he obviously had a red light and I like looked at him because I didn't think he was gonna stop and he like stopped really hard and we all turned and look at him. Or it was a girl driving. And then we get across and the guy, as the light turns green, he rolls down the window and he starts cussing at
Dropping
us.
some motherfucker.
Yes. Because like we did something wrong. But
Did I respond?
yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Was I there?
I don't think you were there.
Well, you might have been physically there, but only that.
I think it was Ellie. I think Ellie was there. And Ceci. I think Daisy was there too. Because I remember, yeah. Because I was like, dude, this guy's going to hit me.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. I don't think
You could have got paid, girl.
No, I know. Oh, I almost got hit the other day, I think. Walking. Some car was like backed up into me. I was like, dang, I should have just said that was.
Oh, that was with me.
Oh, yeah. We were good at lunch. Do you guys have any like road rage stories?
Like personal?
Yeah.
That's not for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna plead the tip on that one.
Or like no, like somebody like trying to like road rage with you.
Oh,
I guess.
oh my God, this is so funny. When I was a prosecutor, so this is way back like 2006 to 2010 sometime. I was driving on the freeway and apparently, like, I don't even know what I did, but I I had done something to piss the guy off in front of me. And so he's like driving all crazy and all this stuff. And I'm just going to work, prosecutor, like just trying to do my job. So I get off on Las Vegas Boulevard. Like I'm going up the 95. I get off on Las Vegas Boulevard. And this guy gets out of his car and he's got to be like close to 80. And he's just walking at me all angry and hard. And I just get out of the car. I go, get back in your car, man. Just stop it. Said, you'll have a heart attack trying to take a swing at me. Fucking old people.
You just, I feel like you're very calm. Have you had road rage?
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have at least living here. Like,
Yeah, I've had a couple of
I had a guy throw a
situations.
full Slurpee at me once. Like we were driving and he pulled up and he had like a 32-ounce Slurpee and it was full. And he threw it at me and I was just thinking to myself, dude, you just wasted your fucking Slurpee.
oh, things like that makes me so mad. Make me like 1,000 times more mad. Like hitting my car or doing anything like to my car. Oh my God, I couldn't let it go.
So you're
Just let it go.
Sage has road rage. But he's so confined within her vehicle.
Sage does love the horn. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And she likes to be verbal, but she's inside her car.
Yes.
I do have commentary.
Yes.
Every time I'm driving, I do have some commentary for almost every driver in front of me.
And I know, and when I honk though, I know that they can see like they'll look back because I think it's everybody's natural instinct that you look back to see, who's honking at me. And I'll just be like doing like hand gestures and I'll just be like, really?
Go.
I like to confuse people now, though. I just give them a thumbs up. They cut me off like,
Oh yeah. No, things like, oh yeah, that's so funny because I do that.
That's my go-to now. Thumbs up.
Well, Sagey doesn't have a resting bitch face at all. So,
Is that sarcastic? Maybe, I guess so. You just have to talk to me and I'll smile. I think I'm pretty.
Sage has a hangry face. That happens when she's hungry and she's angry. Most of the time, I think you have a very approachable face.
I can't help it sometimes. It just speaks. It's just my face speaks for me.
Hence the resting bitch face.
I'm just like, I think I'm a very approachable person, but people tell me the direct opposite.
That's because your size, man. You're like a bear. You're very intimidating.
So speaking of me almost being ran over in the crosswalk, or multiple times actually, because people just pull out and not look.
Nope. Not saying it. No diddy.
I thought it.
No diddy. Said it.
Yes, I do. That's how I was like waiting for it. I caught myself after the fact. I guess there's a video, Ibra? So I guess there's a video of a close call with a pedestrian with a multi-collision. So I think it was, multiple cars and then a pedestrian was probably like really close to being hit in that kind of caught situation. So there's a video if we want to look.
I have so many mentions about this without even saying it. Ooh, holy shit! What are we?
Is this all Vegas stuff or no? Oh, shoot. Damn.
I hope that dude dove.
Oil.
Wait, haven't we seen this one before?
I don't know. That's awesome.
I thought we saw this one before.
You've probably seen it on like your phone or something.
No, I bet you $50 where you saw this one.
Oh no.
Oh, I just missed that dude, I think.
I bet you $50 because
Several times, barely got men.
Dude, that sucks.
and then that.
Excuse me, sir. Your car's on my fucking hood.
How do you even get out of the car?
Very carefully.
You don't.
What you do is you
Somebody's there to help you out of the car.
drive really fast and stop.
Yeah, I hope it rolls off. You gotta get him off your car.
So because it was collision car and the pedestrian, who would the pedestrian go after?
Oof.
Honestly,
Is it all of them?
no, like I would love to, but like that one's pretty fucking clear, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one person who's at fault in that situation.
Yeah.
The guy who took the dude out. Now, if there's a question about like, okay, this guy was speeding and this guy had the right of way, maybe you go after them both. To me,
So who's pretty?
it appeared that the first hit, covers every bit.
Caused all the chain.
Yeah. So if the pedestrian got hit, obviously he's going to be the most fucked because he's out of the car. But yeah, in that situation, obviously, man, I hope that guy doesn't have a minimum policy. But he's the first hitter is going to be on the car that's on top of the car that's underneath the car, and say the pedestrian was hit as well, hit the pedestrian as well. Yeah.
if the pedestrian was hit, could that guy be charged with criminal too?
Yeah, I mean, that could be reckless driving resulting in injury or reckless driving resulting in death, depending on. But yeah, he could definitely be charged.
Because it looks like he was flying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, for that car, the other car to go in the air like that,
Right.
yeah, he had to be, that's solid.
yeah, that could be a personal injury claim, and he could be charged criminally. So you're just walking in the crosswalk,
Like
yep.
life. Oh my gosh.
Actually, when we were driving down here, we saw this caddy, like, it had to be going like 100, right?
Oh, yeah. Narrowly miss.
Like 3 cars driving. And I was just like, I drive like a jackass, but like, how much?
And a retaining wall.
Yeah, he always said,
I was like, oh, that was, way too close.
but like, how much of a hurry are you in, homie? You know what I mean?
Maybe you have to go.
I drive pretty fast, man. I was probably going like 70, and he was going well above.
I drive the speed limit every day.
And weaving in and out of traffic.
He was weaving in front of semis too.
So, say that guy made a claim. Can the insurance decline his claim? So he wasn't hit.
Which guy?
The one in the crosswalk. That
Oh, the pedestrian.
yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Sorry, not talking about your guys.
no, you're good. I mean, it depends. Like,
Was he hit? I didn't see.
I mean, I'm assuming based on the fact that it was on the other car, he wasn't.
But maybe like debris.
Or he could have
like maybe
slowed
debris hit him, and he made a claim. But the insurance can they decline the claim because he wasn't actually hit by the car?
No, I think that you would definitely be liable in a situation, and I know that you'd definitely be liable, but for your dude driving like a jackass,
Right.
my guy isn't injured. We had one where like, I don't know if it was a bumper or a license plate fell off of a car, and then somebody else was coming up on the scene and they hit the bumper, and it like not only fucked their car, but caused them to crash into a wall. Like, we sued on behalf of the people who technically weren't in the original accident. So
So if he wasn't hit, the pedestrian, can he sue for anything? Is there anything for him to sue for?
I
I
mean,
guess not, because I mean,
maybe a change of underwear.
Well,
yeah,
some new
I
draws.
was traumatized. I think I would be traumatized.
I mean, he could potentially have a claim against like some kind of PTSD after that. He can't walk in crosswalks ever again. I'm stretching.
Is that stress? Yeah.
It's a stretch.
I did know, I used to work at a restaurant way back in the day, and I had to wear like a Scottish uniform, so I had a kilt the whole time. It was weird. But one of the days, this hostess came in, sweet girl, like totally innocent in high school. She was definitely upset, and I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "I just saw a car accident in front of me." I said, "Okay, that stuff happens." She said, "Yeah, I saw the guy's head roll out of the car." And I was like, "Oh shit!"
You know, it's his head though.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can identify a head
What if it was like a dirty basketball?
with eyeballs.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But so, like in a situation like that, I've never encountered that as an attorney, but that would be an interesting case. Like if you could, sue for negligent infliction of emotional distress.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Yeah, I think I'd be traumatized for sure after seeing that. Traumatizing car accidents itself. Like being in the car, I'm just like,
I'm so twisted. Like I want to go out and see the head, but like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like, hey guy,
yeah,
Are you awake?
you okay?
open your eyes. You okay?
Oh my god. You guys are you guys make my like you guys are make my dark humor. Like you guys build my dark humor.
Well, it's part of the job.
Yeah. You gotta laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, though?
Yes, because it
Don't-
not. You get consumed.
Do you have to laugh?
You have to.
Yes, we
have to.
Otherwise, you cry on the
Yes.
and then you drink out of red Solo cups.
Yes.
Podcast.
Podcast.
I turned into a Brit. My mother. Hello, Governor.
There's a lot of people British in Cancun. Have British people in Cancun.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
thanks for throwing that.
Yeah, I know. Sage just wanted to point out that she was vacation while the fucking rest of us worked.
Hey.
Hey, Daisy, did you go to Cancun? Mm.
You guys all took your vacations. It was my next.
Just thoughts.
Well,
Just-
somebody went to Cabo not too long ago, too, but
That was August. That was last year. That was last
I gotta fucking go to Utah. I gotta go to Cedar City.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's vacation.
No, it's not.
Went to Arizona a couple weeks ago. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
That guy went to Japan. She's going.
That was last year.
She's for her honeymoon.
Doesn't count last year.
Yeah.
She's going on her honeymoon. Where are you going this year? Aren't you going somewhere?
Going to Disney World for a week for fucking $20,000. Can we talk about how fucking expensive Disney World is? Like, that's a fucking racket. And then
Beach was disappointed with Disney World.
Yeah.
I prefer Disneyland to Disney World.
Well, it's because they have different parks in Disney World, but we went to the one that's basically Disneyland.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Magic Kingdom.
yeah. So we went to that one. So I was like, it's literally the same thing, and so I feel like we should have just went to a different one. But I feel like if we go to a different one, it's not bad.
Epcot's cool because they have booze there, kind of like California Adventure. California Adventure will get you dirty if you're not paying attention.
I haven't been to Disneyland in 3 years.
Oh, love it. And I might go to the Dominican Republic. We'll see.
So what? I said, I've got you beat on that. He said, we'll see.
Oh no, I only went because of the only reason why I was going to Disneyland was because that's where all my school trips were. They were never at Six Flags, nothing else. It was always just Disneyland.
You know, funny, I lived in LA for 8 years. Never went to like a Magic Mountain once.
Really, I love Magic Mountain.
Growing up that way every other weekend.
I don't know. Maybe it was like when I was little, my mom could tell you, I always wanted to go on the roller coasters. It's adrenaline, maybe.
Maybe I remember on stage I'm drinking out of sippy cups. She wanted to ride the big rides, and I told her, well, those are for big kids. Big kids don't drink sippy cups. Sippy cups stunt your growth because only babies drink it. That's why they're little. Sage quit drinking out of sippy.
Twisted.
Yeah. Lines.
Daisy, are you still drinking?
Poor Daisy's been drinking Sippy Cup for 20 years.
She just asked if you want to talk to.
Y'all never see Daisy, but Daisy's all about 4'10".
It's there in the earlier videos. She's up in there.
4'10".
Not standing, but she's like in her little booster seat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So Ben, as I think the whole office knows that you love Reddit. You're always on Reddit for
I actually do love Reddit.
and so we have a few questions of people, or we have real people just ask a bunch of these legal questions. And we're going to get into them.
All right, fire away.
So this one, somebody asked, would it be illegal if I purposely crashed my car for insurance money?
That's a tough one. Yeah, the answer is yes. You know what people used to do out here? I don't know if they do it so much anymore. But like, I think in 2008, when that whole fucking crash happened with the housing market and all that, people would take their cars out in the desert and they'd burn them. And they'd say, yo, somebody stole my car and it's burned in the desert. But like, they would drive their car out with their keys. There was no damage to like the steering column or anything like that. And the AG always had those cases. It was never the DA. It was always the Attorney General. And they had this like insurance fraud unit, and they'd just be like, this is how we know dude drove his car out in the desert and burned it. And they'd list all these things. It was hilarious because it was so obvious. And it's just, no, you cannot crash your car, burn your car, any of that stuff to get the insurance file.
Have your car stolen accidentally on purpose.
Yes. Yes. It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode. Remember, he had a super stinky car and he just left it with the key running and walked away from it.
No.
No,
Oh.
no, I'm old.
Th-
Once
th-
again, I'm old.
This person actually argued that it's his car, so he should be able to do what he wants with the car, or she.
Good for you. Well, good for you. You can do whatever you want with the car. However, it doesn't mean you're going to get paid for it. I mean,
Well, insurance won't cover it. So
no.
Yeah, how does insurance cover fraud?
How does insurance cover fraud? They don't cover fraud.
Jez, that's teasing you.
Oh, no, I don't understand the question.
Your question is how does insurance deal with investigate fraud?
Like, how do they investigate it? See. Oh, well.
How does it go into? Yeah, how's insurance fraud works? I guess.
Well, most major insurance carriers have investigators, you know, and if they think something is kind of off or if it's a staged accident,
He's waiting for you to talk to cover it up.
My life partner, am I just very selfish?
I just stopped you from pouring more. You're welcome.
Oh,
That was Jess's bottle that I hid, in case anybody's wondering.
nobody was wondering. No, I was just kind of going to because some people don't know like how or what's considered fraud, what's, how the insurance.
What's considered fraud, Jess?
Well, people really don't know. Like, this is a real question. Like, this is, most.
I get it, but like fraud is basically saying something happened and it didn't. Like so if someone's claiming that an accident happened, most major insurance companies have investigators that if they think something's fishy, they'll send them out. They'll take pictures of your alleged injuries or where it happened. They'll talk to parties involved. They'll speak to the police. So there's a lot of ways they can try to prove fraudulent acts.
Yeah, I mean, we had, any, I'd say 6-figure case or higher, they're going to like look at you. You know what I mean? We had a woman who was in a legit accident and it was a beautiful case. She needed back surgery, the whole nine. And I think I've told the story before, a month after the accident, but before the surgery, she's doing a weightlifting photo shoot where she's like got chains around her neck. She's holding on to, a bar, doing deadlifts with weight. And it's like, girl, and it was on her Facebook page, of course, or whatever. Was it Insta or Facebook?
Social media.
I don't know. I don't even know what the case you're talking about. Oh, that case.
Oh my goodness.
It's Facebook. Yeah.
But she had it on public. So like they didn't even have to do that much of an investigation.
But weren't those props?
It was
a real
said-
chain.
She said the chain was made out of foam.
Right.
Like she still had like,
Yeah,
hundreds
she had
of
plates on it, yeah.
So
Somebody asked if my wife got the house in a divorce, but the insurance lapsed and it happens to burn down, she wouldn't get anything, right?
I mean, the question as asked, I mean, no, she'd still get the value of the land. So there's that. But, if
It just so happened.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't pass the smell test. Like if he was the one who always paid the insurance and he didn't, and if the insurance wasn't impounded into the mortgage payment, like we'd all know what happened. You know what I mean? Like you would be on the hook for it.
Understand.
And I guess the husband's logic would be, would they look at him as being the culprit?
Yes, man. Every single fucking time. You are suspect number one by the insurance company, by the cops, by everybody.
And how common is that to happen?
What? Insurance fraud or arson?
So exes damaging property up.
Oh, that shit happens. Oh, yeah. That's why we don't do family law. It's miserable. People hate each other. People would rather give their money to their attorney than their spouse. It's insane. Just call it a day. Give them half. Be happy.
So in those cases, you would suggest for them to hire
Yeah.
a family attorney.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Do not burn anything down. I'm trying to think what else. Don't hide your money, because I think, isn't there a question about like somebody wanted to move out of the country?
Mm-hmm. If I just take all my money and move to Ukraine before the divorce, my wife can't find it, right?
Wrong to Ukraine right now. But
Yeah, that's
a Johnny's choice.
Well, could they just, or not, could have bring their money to the Ukraine.
Oh,
I thought it said move.
I mean, I think we all want to leave the country.
Yeah. Fair. Somewhere warmer.
Why Ukraine?
I think it's just kind of, for example, offshore.
I guess no, but he should or wouldn't never think.
Don't do it. Give them half. Your wife can find it. There are things called forensic accountants. Forensic accountants are great at finding money. Dirty little secret. Everybody thinks that Bitcoin can't be traced. It can. The FBI knows how to trace Bitcoin very well. So everybody who commits crimes flees the country to places like Rosarita Beach or Turkey. Your Bitcoin wallet is searchable, trackable, the whole life. That was oddly specific for a very good reason.
So question on what if they moved it prior to filing for divorce when they're still legally married? Because once you file, they freeze accounts.
Well,
there's a look back period.
you can still trace it. Well, you can still see large money transfers, or transfers to family members, shit like that. Yeah. We don't do family law. We know all this
Yeah,
stuff.
that sounds like.
Yeah. So like, think about it. Family lawyers, those guys know all that shit better than we do.
This is probably just like another investigation. You're going to see why you transferred this money, what other acts you took before you filed to.
It's not like you pulling $100,000 out of the bank, throwing it in a suitcase and going to the Cayman Islands. You know what I mean? Which they could trace that too.
I like this question. If I get pulled over drunk, what if I chug whiskey in front of the cop? They can't prove I was drunk before, right?
Well,
Yes and no.
if you get pulled over by a cop, that's a pretty good. They're not going to let you chug whiskey.
If you do it right in front of them.
Like, say they're walking up to the window and you start drinking out of phone.
Well, guess what? You're in actual physical control of a motor vehicle and you're drinking.
In Nevada, the way the DUI laws are, you probably still would get hit with a DUI. I understand what they're trying to say, to kind of say, no, I wasn't drinking before, I just drank now. That's why there's alcohol in my
You
system.
stressed me out.
Yeah, but there's something called
But you can't even have it in your car anyways.
you can if it's closed.
Well, if it's closed, yeah.
But if
they're
you have an
not
open
built-
container, that's just a petty misdemeanor, though. But yeah, you still can be charged.
Right.
They can probably prove that you were drunk.
You must have some balls to do that in front of a cop. Not even go. I don't know.
Well, it's a good. I mean, it's kind of.
I could see. I could see but also I don't know. Why did you need to do that? I guess
Because what they're
if you
trying to
weren't
say is,
drinking before.
they're trying to say that I wasn't. When you saw me driving, I wasn't drunk until I drank in front of you. But it
Like,
doesn't
can't
matter.
prove I
because-
was intoxicated at the time.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter in Vegas or Nevada because
Work out. Or
if you're standing next to your car drinking, you get hit.
Now,
You get hit with the DUI.
what about in the event of a hit and run? If you've been drinking,
Well,
and you had-
that's what people do. Is if you get in hit and run, and I'm not advocating for a hit and run, don't do it. Can lead to more serious charges. But a lot of people get in an accident, they'll go home, the cops will show up at the house and they're drinking at the house. They said, oh no, I was sober when it happened, but I'm drinking now. In that situation, you do have somewhat of a defense, right? However, you also have a bunch of hit and run charges.
yes.
This one's funny. If someone calls me an a-hole and I punch them, is it self-defense?
First off, it's just
I think we talked about that a little bit of self-defense earlier. So I guess that would.
It's definitely not self-defense. You can't,
'Cause
you
you-
can't defend yourself with words.
So so verbal, like when people are verbally attacking you.
Well, if they called you an
There's
asshole and you
nothing
punched
you
him,
can do,
you're an asshole.
I guess the best situations to walk away.
Yeah,
Is that what they always?
you're not going to be able to claim self-defense.
Turn the other cheek.
That's funny. You want me to read that?
Or barbecue.
No, I just saw the first comment. I was like, no, Karen, you cannot.
I saw a video where the neighbor kept calling the police on her neighbor because he had the party lights in his backyard. Did you see that one? He had his party lights and then he would keep them on until like 11 o'clock at night. And she complained because she said she goes to bed at 9 and she couldn't sleep. So she was calling the cops like every night.
How'd that work out for?
Well, they said that the cops looked in the backyard, said it's not shining directly into her window. And so there wasn't anything they could do.
Well, I just don't understand when people call the cops on things like that. Like they have more important things to do, I guess.
True emergencies to respond
Yeah.
to.
No, agreed. And you girls, all you guys know. One of the people we work with, their dogs got out and the neighbors,
Oh, yeah.
they didn't even leave the property. They were hanging on the property. They were at the edge of the property. They weren't threatening anybody. The neighbor comes over and pepper sprays the dogs. They then run into the porch area of the house, which once again, not threatening anybody. And they spray the dogs again. You're not allowed to be a dick just because somebody's dog's out. You know what I mean? And I think with a lot of neighbor, things like with the lights or there was somebody who said my neighbor barbecues and the smell bothers me. Fucking deal with it. You know what I mean? It's not a hostile act. And don't fucking hurt a dog, you dick.
In that case, like, I would probably, you would have to be bailing me out because that's crazy. And that, like, I guess you have to, so you'd have to, you have to call the cops for that, right? Or like, and would you go after them in that case?
Oh, I'd see the
Right?
shit out of that chick.
Oh my gosh.
So pepper spray at the
But
dog.
like, why would you, like,
And
you
what
guys have
and
to
what's the claim on that? Like what?
Intentional infliction of emotional distress.
those poor babies.
Cruelty to animals?
Well, but I mean, that's more criminal than, yeah. But you intentionally went after my dogs because you're a dirty bitch.
But if you called the police on him, the police could arrest him for cruelty to animals,
Correct. Oh yeah.
and then you can just sue them civilly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's funny is I know in that situation, like the pepper sprayer apparently is one of these people on social media who's like these huge, like, oh, pro animal. And it's like, are you really though?
No. So
Yeah.
let's air him out. No, I'm just kidding. What's the Instagram? No, that's like, I can't get over that because I don't know. That's just so evil.
Paige would lose her mind.
I said you'd be bailing me out. That's just evil. That's just very evil.
Oh, what? We have video footage?
No, this has to be something else.
Yes. Pepper sprayed this dog right there. In the yard.
What a
Vince's
bitch.
yard.
Yes, that's
so
interesting. So yes, we would take that case, and yes, we would sue that fucking Karen. Like, kids and dogs, man. Like, why you gotta fuck with them?
That's
I don't know. That's just, I can't get over it. But anyways. Okay. We have some Reddit's most insane legal stories. It's a reaction.
Okay.
So there is this guy who asked if he could commit insurance fraud and then wanted to know how he'd get caught.
just by submitting that question was one.
Yeah.
All right, it's a good start.
Reddit's not truly an
Asking on social media.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Hypothetically speaking, that's funny. Wait, is there videos or anything like that? Or is this just like,
No.
well, this is just a
Okay, yeah. Here, playing dumb sports. Here's what I like. Scroll back down. The fan fiction enthusiast who asked the lawyer if writing about a crime is the same as committing a crime. Short answer is no in that situation. However, there is that lady in Utah who wrote a book about, you remember that, about her husband dying and how the kids deal with the husband dying. And then it turned out she had poisoned them with like a fuck ton of fentanyl. And the first time it didn't work, and the second time he died.
No.
Yeah.
How long ago?
That was probably within the last year.
I was ringing a bell.
Yeah. No, she was nuts.
Isn't there a Stephen King novel about that where he write? Is that no? Where he's like he plays a writer. Yeah, they miss her stories. No.
That's
And it-
basically what he does. He writes
No, he writes where it is to kind of mask the actual crimes that are happening.
Yeah.
Is that Stephen King? I don't know.
I just feel like there's just, in any way you're gonna get caught. Like, I feel like nowadays it's just a lot of technology
Ooh,
and things like that.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
poison him via sandwich. Was it that bad of a
his
sandwich?
favorite sandwich.
Oh,
What was it?
It doesn't say
PB&J
specific.
bottle of Benadryl. The hell is that?
Road rage.
That's so sad. That's crazy. Imagine that's how you die. Sorry, we're not putting that out there. Don't contain my image, please. No, I'm just kidding. But like, dang, I just died from a sandwich.
I don't know if you'd say that.
Poison
when
you,
he dies,
but-
man.
Mama Cass died from a ham sandwich. Y'all are way too young to remember that.
I don't know.
Mamas and the Papas was a 60 band. She was a bigger girl.
Yeah.
Plus size. Ate a ham sandwich. Choked. Died.
Okay.
That's the story they released to the public anyway.
Have you guys had So just going off of these dumb questions on Reddit,
Mm-hmm.
have you guys had a client has asked you a question and you're literally just like, what the fuck?
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the most
Ridiculous.
dumbest or ridiculous question somebody has asked you, a client?
One I got, this was in the last like 6 months, is, hey, so my husband really wasn't in the car when the accident happened, but he made me put him in the car so we could get double the money. Is that okay? Needless to say, the answer was no, and they both got dropped. But like, I mean, like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, yeah, we're both in the car. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think.
On the criminal side, like what kind of? I can't think of any though.
Well, like, what the fuck moments?
Yeah, like did you really just ask me that?
Mm-hmm.
Can they prove it was me if they have me on video doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I feel like we get a lot of like repeated questions. Like, you can answer it in so many ways and they still don't understand it. It's very simple. I do it all the time, every single day.
I have one like going on now that still it's like driving me insane. This guy's a veteran. It's been in an accident. We settled this case. I think it's like 50 grand, somewhere around there. We
Yeah.
have it.
That
And
came to mind.
we're like sitting there. We can't pay out his money until we get the bills from the VA, right? You know, because kind of have to pay your bills in order to pay your case. And so dude like calls the VA every day asking for the guy we're dealing with. All we know is this guy's first name is Robert. You know, he's like, Robert, don't work at the VA. Robert, don't do this. Robert, and it's like, I'm not trying to keep your 50 grand, man. I'm not. I would love to pay you just so you go away. You know what I mean? But I can't until I pay your bills. So there's a lot of, you deal with things like that a lot.
They're going to see themselves on there. They say they watch your videos all the time.
Watch them. Like,
No, but it's a lot of, them not understanding what we're doing and we're process. Yeah, the process of
and we do try to explain it. That's what's frustrating. Like, y'all try to explain it. We try to explain it. We have a policy, and like the girls can back me up on this. Like, if you talk to your case manager and you feel like something's not being answered, or you just feel like you're not getting your question answered, that's why you have my cell. I will answer you. All you have to do is call or text me, preferably text, and I'll answer your questions. I am available 24/7. So it always dumbfounds me when people are like, well, you don't talk to me. Oh man, I'm here. If you have a question, just ask. We'll take care of it.
I think, I definitely say you guys are really pretty good at that. And usually after they talk to you, they guys are pretty, all the clients are fine. They just need that one conversation. We'll literally be telling them the same thing.
It is sounding like sometimes y'all say things and I'll say the exact same thing. But
Then it'll click for them all of a sudden because it's just coming from an attorney's mouth. But
hey guys, so here's the thing. There aren't really stupid questions. There's just stupid people who ask questions. So my thing is this, just any question you have, don't worry about it bothering us or things of that nature. Please ask it, because 9 times out of 10, the girls will know the answer. And if I have to say the same thing and then you understand it, it's totally cool. That's not a problem. All that matters is that if you have a question, don't keep it in. What's important to us is that we're here specifically to do things like that. Ask the question, we'll answer. I know of at least one guy off the top of my head, first one that came to mind, where the settlement was 600 grand. So he ended up with $200,000, third to him, a third to the doctors, and then a third to the office. So, 200.
Yeah.
And like, homie was a truck driver, so it's not like he's broke. They make good money, the long haul, like, truck drivers. He blew through 200 grand in 45 to 60 days. Blew my mind, and it's just,
On what?
he got a like 1976 orange Corvette Stingray.
Nice car. Don't like the color.
No. Yeah. He bought a sandwich shop in the middle of nowhere that stayed open for about 30 days.
the potential investment.
Mm-hmm. And, then I have other thoughts about what he did with his money.
Did he lose that
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah. When I say he blew through it in 45 to 60 days, the sandwich shop was closed. He might still have the Stingray. I don't know.
If I had
but
to sell it,
but it wasn't like a fully restored Stingray. The orange was like a rust orange. You know what I mean? And like it needed some work.
I think I could do that. I think
Well, I can blow through money. Yeah.
it's March Madness right now. I could probably do that in 1 month.
or 4. If you want to blow money, you might as well just give it to me. No, I'm just kidding.
It's the what's that name? That tune.
Now, but
I could do it in 10 days. I could do it in 10 days.
but have you had any of them come after you saying like, "Hey, you owe me more money. I should have got more money"?
I'd had people come and question the bills after the fact, but the problem is like we put the bills in front of you when you get your check. So we say, this is where your money went. Your money goes here, goes here, goes here. These are all the places. And we also break it down to you so you see that this is what was charged. We negotiated a lower price. So if it was what was charged, this is what you should get. But we negotiate a lower price, so this is what you actually get. And like I said, it will always be greater than what I get. But yeah, no, they'll come after the fact and be like, yo, you didn't give me enough. I had somebody tell me the other day that $16,000 wasn't anything. And I'm like, I don't know about you, man, but $16,000 is not a bad check.
16,000 is 16,000.
Yeah, if I could just blow it March Madness same day.
That's one game right there.
Oh, man. I will tell you that Jess, there's a game online called Clash of Clans. He spent, no joke, $5,000 on that game easy.
Money well spent.
Thank gosh.
On
No,
pocket video game I will spend.
Had to buy some
The-
buildings, man.
I guess that some people just don't know financial responsibility.
Should you look at me?
Yeah.
No, I think you're pretty. I don't know, 10 much, but I mean, maybe fine. But I mean, if I received, $16,000, you can get a car, a nice, reliable car, invest in property.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something that's gonna benefit you in the long run.
Right, that's the
More money.
prudent thing to do. But you see it all the time in NFL, the NBA, like young athletes that don't have anything. And then all of a sudden they're signing $1 million contracts. Sometimes they get into trouble because friends and family, extended friends and family.
So, a woman in Florida, which is trying a 6-figure settlement and immediately bought a pet tiger, paid $20,000 for a custom enclosure, and 2 months later realized it was illegal and spent even more money fighting to keep it.
What is it?
I had no problem with that whatsoever.
Tiger Queen?
I would love to own a tiger.
Why is it always in Florida too?
Well, to Florida man.
Because it's
It's weird.
easy to get them into the country.
Oh, I have other thoughts about that, but
There's a story about a Las Vegas man who bought 3 monkeys. Here's the thing about monkeys. I'll let you guys know a dirty little secret. And the only reason I know this is I had a buddy in high school who owned a monkey for a little bit. When monkeys hit puberty, monkeys
Oh my gosh.
jack off a lot. Like a lot.
As soon as he said puberty, I knew.
So that's why you see like monkeys in diapers and stuff like that. It's because they like,
oh, those for the shit.
no, man. It's because they like to jack off. So that's why
About
monkeys,
England.
bad choice. Tigers, always a good choice.
Now he's thinking about getting a monkey.
I want to get a sloth.
They're slow. You can catch up.
That's why I want to get a sloth. They just look cool.
They have
You know, they
chlamydia.
can swim.
And you said it's a monkey thing.
They have chlamydia.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I didn't look too much into it, but I'm pretty sure that they have chlamydia.
You can't just say all sloths have chlamydia. I didn't look into it.
Look at it, bro. Look at it.
That's that.
If only there was some way. And
Listen. It's because it says no, but like I said, I got my a thing off of TikTok. So that's why I said I had to research it. That's why I backtracked. But
All sloths have chlamydia. Interesting. What does it say?
Studies have shown, by the way, this is on berrypatchfarms.net.
Yeah, you got to get a better source than that. Sloth versus koala.
Oh, apparently koalas have chlamydia because look at that. The leading cause of death in koalas is chlamydia.
Where are they getting it?
I don't know, but I believe that one a little bit more because it's the sloth conservation.
Oh, yeah. That one sounds legit.
Oh, I want to hold a sloth while you should never ever hold a sloth. So here's the thing. What if, like, that'd be a sweet lawsuit. I got chlamydia and I got holding a from holding a sloth.
Yeah.
So you sue the company for not, you know,
To the sloth for giving you chlamydia.
For not divulging the or like any like diseases like that. Like from not just that
could you been in that
If-
conversation with your
if-
significant other?
Yes.
So yeah, so
I got chlamydia, but I got it from a sloth.
oh my gosh. So I guess like when you're going on vacation, you know, like they have like little animals and stuff and you get sick.
Where they have you hold like alligators or snakes. Is that what you're kind of
Sick, like
You're probably signing some kind of release though if you're going.
well, you're in a foreign country. You're in a foreign.
no. When have you
I think when you go to East Korea, like I did the shirt shit. I don't remember them making me sign a release of the shirts though.
although you know.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that they would like have you sign things like that. Snakes and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. See, this one I don't get because I'm not really into famous people. But it says VIP treatment for every concert. So a woman receives $250,000 in a slip and fall. She spent $150,000 on meet and greets with celebrities. Oh, dumb.
Flew first class to every event.
Well, I'm okay with that.
Ran out of money in 6 months.
Uh,
But it's like, why do
And they tried to sue her lawyer for letting her spend it all.
Here's the thing. Let me let you in on a little secret. We're here to enable you. We're here to get you money. We're here to make sure that you're healthy, fixed, all that shit. We are not here to be your parents because we can't even parent ourselves. True story.
Well, there was one earlier that said that they tried to sue the attorney for not giving them proper advice on how to spend their money.
I'm not surprised at any of these lawsuits. Like you can sue anyone for any reason whatsoever, and it just proves it.
But like, I am the wrong person to ask for financial advice.
Oh yeah.
How many watches? I just got this watch the other day. Fucking ridiculous.
my goodness.
$5,000 on video games, $4,000 on a fucking watch. What are you gonna do? Daisy, you ever gonna spend $4,000 on a watch?
It's like depends what watch.
Not that much. Maybe like $1,000. Everything else on shoes and clothes though.
Her ass is choosing shoes.
Mm. Yeah, you'd get some fucking Jordan colorways for like $4,000 though, wouldn't you?
God, no, I.
Really?
Yeah, it's a look at him.
Did she get scared to wear them? You're gonna destroy them.
I would want probably purses.
What about you, Tams?
Nope. I'm like $200, and I'm like, ooh, okay. And then I'm regretting it the whole time.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Give me a $5,000 watch, and I'd be like, why? Give me a $200 watch, and give me the cash for the rest of it. I'm good.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of From the Beach to the Bar, our second March episode. We're trying to bump them up at least 2 a month. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys have questions, please comment. We'll respond. Have a wonderful day. Bye.